What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And you see, we got my guy, Freddie. Freddie, what's good with you, man?
Hey, man, listen. Playoff time is coming around, all right? Yesterday, my Knicks just pulled off a win. I think Jalen Brunson is making a case to be an MVP candidacy in place of somebody, but we ain't got to go there, man. I'm a happy guy today. That's pretty much what I'm saying.
That's so crazy. Look, Freddie, I'm gonna be sleep on it. Okay, I'm gonna be sleep on it. That's right. That's right. We lost, but I still represent my boys. You know how we do. It's the Blue Devils, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Blue Devils.
My condolences.
Hey, it's whatever. We still got that ring. You see, we ready at all times. We ready at all times. But look, he Jets. Like Aaron Rodgers is Jet from the Packers. Well, potentially, because it's not really set in stone, Freddie. So you might be able to keep your mans on your Packers. Because, well, you know, if I'm the Packers, do I trade them? Is that cap space like is it going to hit my cap, that $40 million? And I think if you trade them before June 1st, it does, or something like that. Like, or maybe I misread that. How do y'all look at this Aaron Rodgers situation? Do you believe he will get traded? Because it's not as set in stone as I thought it was initially. Byron, we'll start with you.
Yeah. I'll be real brief because if Freddie is a Packers fan, I'll let him comment. Best of luck next year if you are a Packers fan. And even if you keep A-Rod or not keep A-Rod, best of luck. I would say he does get traded. He has caused. I know we talked about this before about him being a leader, and that he has caused so many problems, so much turmoil within the locker room, within the NFL, with lying about the COVID and all types of stuff like that. I think he's gone. I think he needs to change the scenery. I'm not saying he's a bad dude. I think he needs to change the scenery immediately. Does he go to the Jets? That's where he wants to go, but I mean, there's no telling that he does. So I think he gets traded because I think the Packers organization is kind of over him, and they should have moved on last year from him with his whole facade or his whole, theatric with it. But it is what it is. I think he's gone. Long story short, I think he's gone.
Okay, Freddie. One, do you think he's gone? But the real question to you is, if he does go, what would you like back in return? Like, what is A-Rod's real value? Because Buddy did just say retirement was on the board. So, I mean, I got to think maybe he's not going to be around that long, too, on the football field. What would you like for him?
All right, well, before I even answer that, can we give this dude some credit for this? Nobody's talking about this. AR is a great friend because he gave him a list of all his homeboys who were pretty much about to be out the league. He said, before I come over here, I want y'all to pay my boys. Give my boy a check real quick here. Give my boy a check. I respect that. I just wanted to put that out there. Nobody talked about that, but he getting his boys paid. You got to respect somebody who can do that, right?
But I didn't think Alan Lazard was about to get kicked out of the league. That's breaking news.
I'm talking about Cobb and Mercedes Lewis. No, I'm talking about his OGs. But yeah, Alan Lazard was specifically for him as well. But Cobb and Mercedes Lewis were going to be off the league probably. But anywho, to answer your question, he's not playing for the Packers again. We're going to be stuck with Jordan Love, who is a mid-major quarterback who is mediocre at a mid-major, pretty much 500 quarterback. So this time has been coming. They've been trying to hold on to AR and dealing with this nonsense because they realize, okay, we got this guy who's just another guy, right? Now, hopefully, he's been studying and he has a lot more to show for the Packers because at this point they got to go in there and play with him, right? I think they're going to be a super run heavy team even more so than they were this past year. Now, as far as AR coming to the Jets, he's not retiring because he's supposed to get like $60 million. You're not walking away from $60 million. I don't care who you are. Even if you know what I'm saying? Even if you kind of just lollygag, you're not walking away from $60 million.
Right.
So he's playing. It's weird because they've been going back and forth. I'm not sure what's the hold up. Like, is there one specific player that's kind of holding this thing up? I think it's going to be heavily based around picks, right? And then possibly some no-name players, right?
You don't want to mortgage the future too much because of the risk that Aaron Rodgers might retire. So you don't necessarily, if you're the Jets, you don't want to give up a first potentially.
Here's the flip side to that. The Jets haven't had success ability at quarterback. Even when they had Mark Sanchez, who actually did them some good, that wasn't even really stability. That was Rex Ryan's defense causing hell, wreaking havoc. That was Darrelle Revis shutting down the whole side of the field, right? Only allowing 25 yards per game. Was that 09? Like, that's the defense, right? Those guys. With Aaron Rodgers, he immediately puts you in playoff and Super Bowl contention based on how great your defense already is. So I think they're just saying, no, we're going to go all out, and we're going to go ahead and get this quarterback who, although he did just have a down year with a hurt thumb or whatever you want to call it, down year, let's call it that. Prior to that, he had 2 back-to-back MVP seasons. So I don't think you can fall off a cliff that quick, right? You have receivers who are dropping wide open passes, couldn't create separation on possession. Like, you know what I'm saying? And now you have a defense who, although you don't take the ball away, they can get you the ball back. They're free and out every time. The top defense as far as yards allowed in, points allowed per game. I think they're going to be a super threat, and I think they're selling out to get him. Whatever they got to get him, they're going to make it happen.
Right, let me ask you this, Byron, because I saw your face cringe a little bit. And look, Freddie, just full disclosure, this is the same man that said that Dak Prescott is a better leader than Aaron Rodgers. So my question, Byron, is this: do you believe? And I'm glad y'all boys is on this show now. Do you believe that Aaron Rodgers can lead this Jets team to the promised land? Because Freddie just said he can get you to the contention, and you said,
yeah, here we go. Absolutely not. Listen here, Aaron Rodgers hasn't seen a Super Bowl since the early mid 2000s. What, 2011?
2011.
It's been 12 years. 11, 12 years. He's even touched it, seen it.
I'm sure he watches the Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers, I got an answer for this. Don't worry.
Aaron Rodgers has played in one of the weakest divisions in the NFL. Period. The Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears are in this division. And then you got the Minnesota Vikings, who can never get over the hump. Ever.
Right.
It's just like the Cowboys. The Cowboys and the Packers are so similar as teams. They play these weak schedules, have these good records. When it comes time to play against the big boys, the big dogs, they lose. I've seen Aaron Rodgers not be able to score a touchdown against the 49ers. Now, granted, 49ers have a good defense, right? And I'm not going to predicate my premise based upon one example. However, Aaron Rodgers historically in the playoffs is very bad. Like, very bad.
Yeah.
So for you to say that he puts them in contention, the AFC right now is way stronger than the NFC. Like, way stronger.
Yeah.
Way stronger. So you think Aaron
I didn't even know this was popcorn, my fault.
You think Aaron Rodgers can get through Chiefs, the Bengals, the Dolphins potentially? The Bills are still there. They're still there. Then you're gonna have the Ravens potentially, who's up there still. Then the Chargers. Broncos might be okay. We'll see what happens with them.
Right.
So that right there is 7 teams. And then you got Garoppolo, who is Aaron Rodgers' worst nightmare. He beats him damn near every time.
San Fran is Aaron Rodgers' worst nightmare. But my fault, I don't want to cut you off.
No, it's all good. So I'm not saying the Raiders are going to be good, but personally, I think the Jets will make the playoffs if Aaron Rodgers goes there. They will. They'll make the playoffs. How far they get, you got to get through Kansas City and Cincinnati. I mean, those are two teams that you have to get through, not including the other teams that are on the rise in AFC. I think it's going to be tough. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think. Oh, Aaron Rodgers is here. Nah, I'm sorry, but that's all I got. He doesn't.
Hey, what's your thought? What's your thought?
All right,
he doesn't put you in contention.
So,
he puts you in playoff contention, but not championship contention.
So Byron, I want to start by saying, bro, if you said it about Dak Prescott, all this falls on deaf ears, bro. Because if you said that about Dak, and you got the audacity to say that AR played in a weak division, come on, man, a weak division? Come on, brother. Come on, man. This is the first year the NFC has been great. We never knocked Tom Brady because he was winning Super Bowls, but it matters how you win as well. Tom Brady's been in the AFC East, which is trash for years. Yeah. He had a bye every single playoff, guaranteed bye. Like, there's other teams, other players that played in weak division. The Cowboys have, and there has been a consistent NFC East division champion since Dak's been there, right? Like, so, I mean, there's quarterbacks. Drew Brees, another example, right? Drew Brees is one of the most overrated quarterbacks to me. I don't want to go there, but so there's these situations there. For Aaron Rodgers, he wins 10 plus games every year, 13 games, right? So you talk about 3 teams. You got 6 divisional games every year. All right, I get you. Minnesota's usually the good team within our division. You got the Lions, you got the Bears, right? So you got about 4 wins guaranteed. But outside of that, you still got those other games where you got to go out there and play. And he, even against the super talented team, he wins. Now, his history, right, won Super Bowl 2010, right? From then, you got a bad loss to the Giants. Can't knock that, right? You lost to the Giants, but also Eli beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. So, like, some of those losses are what they are, but early on, a lot of his losses were to the Seahawks, the Cardinals, who put up ridiculous numbers on them. Defense, it usually ended up in his defense not being able to get a stop. Even the bad game he had versus the Seahawks, onside kick failure, and then give up a bomb the first play pretty much of overtime. You've seen these plays where his defense couldn't make a play, as where you look at like a Tom Brady and his defense or kicker, somebody always makes a play. So he's been unfortunate for a stretch up until these past 4 years. San Fran dog walked him. Then they beat him. I mean, he lost to Tampa, which wasn't that great either. He could have ran in there for a touchdown, and we know how that goes. So he has had some failures in the playoffs. But I think when people say, "Oh, he's just failed year and year again," this isn't basketball. You know, it's two sides of the court, of the field. Excuse me. He's put up 30 in a playoff game and got 40 dropped on him. What are you going to do? So I think he still has that in him, is essentially what I'm saying. In fact, him with these Jets reminds me a lot of Tom Brady with the Buccaneers his first year. That Bucs team prior to Brady getting there was actually a better defensive team than people believe. But when you're starting off defensively on your own 30-yard line, because Jameis is throwing 30 picks, how is your defense going to look good, right? The numbers going to show you aren't that great. But now you get a quarterback who can control everything for you, control the clock, get you in and out of your sets, audible here, right? Know when to check down, know when to take advantage of 12 men running on the field. All that stuff, that changes how your team looks offensively. And I think that's all the Jets need. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go in there and beat the Chiefs, because the Chiefs should still be the favorite, right? The Bengals, let's see what they continue to do. They got an offensive lineman to shore up their line even more. Like, I think the Jaguars are going to still be coming on strong. The Chargers, I really don't believe in. They can't stay healthy to save their life. So I think there's some space in there for the Jets to really compete. The veteran quarterback who now has that legit defense to get you off the field on third down. And now you have Breece Hall, who's young. He was coming on strong before getting hurt. And a quarterback now that can just control the game. He doesn't have to come in there and be that guy he can be Jimmy G. You don't got to come in there and pass for 300 yards a game. Great coaching. I think that the Jets are going to surprise a lot of teams this year.
Let me ask you guys this. Yeah. Because, you know, this, I'm hearing good points from both. I do think if the Jets acquire Aaron Rodgers, you immediately put them into contention mode, So, is he a strong candidate for MVP next year? I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes. He just lost Juju, so you're replacing your wide receivers. I mean, Freddie's the narrative, all right? Like you're replacing one of your better wide receivers now. You still got Travis Kelce, yeah, but I mean, you got a lot of you got a big target on your back yet again. So if you do the same thing or even better, like you can become MVP again. You got Jalen Hurts, who's hungry. Joe Burrow, but Aaron Rodgers at this stage of the game, is he a strong contender for MVP? And if so, what would be the main thing that he needs to do to win that award? Because there are a lot of other people out there with like a chip on their shoulder. Again, Josh Allen too. He's one of those players also. So I mean, it's a lot of names out there. Who did we go first with last time? I think Byron.
Yeah. Well, I'll be quick anyway. So.
Go ahead, Freddie.
Yeah, I think he'll be solely off of narrative the way Brett Favre was back in the day when he became a Jet until he lost his 4th game. Like it's narrative. I don't think he's gonna have a monster year. Like so, I think he'll come in there, manage things, get them a bunch of wins, and his difference will be based on narrative, and they'll say, okay, he has a chance. I don't think he'll win it, but I think he has a chance.
Okay. Byron.
Yeah, I would say likewise. I'm not gonna be long either. He has a chance, and he could play. The award is predicated on regular season, and that's where he excels at. So he doesn't excel in the playoffs.
Damn. Okay.
That's my
wow.
So if it's the regular season, of course, he'll be okay.
It's bad.
He excels in the regular season. He excels occasionally in the postseason too, I guess. I'm gonna give him some credit. That's tough. Damn, Byron. That's
5 NFC Championship appearances. It's not too bad. Donovan McNabb-ish, right?
I mean, the thing is,
let's not throw other athletes in this study, because then he gonna say he's a bum too. Let's not go there. Let's let Donovan be cool with the speech.
I actually like McNabb. The only thing that Freddie said that I had to disagree with is one thing, is that you said that Aaron Rodgers doesn't normally have a good defense. Historically, those Packer defenses are like top 5. And like historically, so that's the only thing that I can think
of. Tom Brady, he's had some. When he's had top 5, they've gotten super far, but their defense usually can't get off the field in the playoffs. But yeah, he's had some good defenses for sure. So I'm not gonna like last year he had a pretty good defense. So I do agree with he's had some good defenses. They just don't show up when they need to. Sadly enough.
I'm weak. Okay, all right. Well, I mean that concluded. I mean all the topics we have. We do have some would you rather's if y'all got time. If not, that is cool. We can cut it off. You only got 2 would you rather's though. So are y'all good or no?
Yeah.
Bet. All right, cool. So we're gonna slide on down to the would you rather section.
See what happened last time. We ain't gotta talk about it though. Byron a good man. We ain't gotta talk about it.
Hey, at the end of the day, I'm not a Dak fan regardless. Aaron Rodgers.
You look like him. That's okay. I feel you. I greatly appreciate y'all on the show. We definitely got to do this again. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we close up shop?
No, man. See you later, right?
Yeah, I would say, man, definitely looking forward to playoffs, NBA playoffs, how they kind of unfold themselves last week. So we'll kind of see how that kind of plays off.
MVP race.
Yeah, MVP race. So I'll kind of talk about that. So I'm looking forward to that next conversation.
Definitely. Yeah, no, we will definitely get all that covered. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all stay tuned. And till next time, take care.
I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.